All right, so I want to show you how to mitigate a house, and this is what I figured out. And it's not rocket science, but you got to make sure you do it right. And it takes a little nerve the first time you do it because you're doing something you've never done. You're drilling a hole in your foundation. But how do you take care of radon? How do you mitigate a house that has radon? And so radon's coming up from the soil. It's coming up from the soil. It's coming into the house. Well, if you have a completely tight foundation, if there's no cracks in your foundation, no opening in your foundation, it's going to be hard for that radon to get through your foundation into your house. Radon comes through cracks and openings in your foundation. So one of the ways you can mitigate radon is you could seal the foundation, seal all those cracks, seal all the openings around pipes coming up through your foundation. And there's a special kind of caulk that you get to do that. And that caulk is polyurethane caulk. And if you go look at caulk at the hardware store, then they might sell you a polyurethane caulk, which isn't the type of polyurethane caulk that you need. What you really want to do is call a company like our company, Fresno Radon Mitigation. We could come out and do it for you. Or you could call AccuStar or Radon Away. Radon Away is another company, and they have Radon Away. You want to call Radon Away. They have advisors which will tell you want to get this type of caulking. Or you could just look online, caulking for radon mitigation, and look for the one that's 100% polyurethane, where it's for sealing concrete cracks. That's what it's for. Home Depot sells it. I know they do. But the people at Home Depot don't know about it. It's like one little box by itself. And so that's the first thing you could do, is seal your foundation. Well, if you've got carpet and tile and hardwood already over your foundation, maybe you don't want to rip that up to seal your foundation. So before you seal your foundation, so knowing about sealing your foundation is important if you're remodeling or just building a house. Make sure it's all sealed up before you put your carpet, tile, and hardwood over everything. So make sure your foundation's sealed up. The second thing you could do is you could actually depressurize the region under your house. And this is known as sub-slab depressurization. Sub-slab depressurization. And so basically it's a bunch of physics here about air pressure. And when your house needs air, if you think about it, your house is like a box, right? And if you sucked air out of that box, well, it's got to suck air in from somewhere else. And so if my box, which is my house, I turn on a big powerful fan, like I have a fan over my stove which pulls, I don't know how many, 800 cubic feet a minute, something crazy. And when all that air is getting sucked out of my house, if it's got to replace that air somewhere. So where's that air coming from? So if I open a window, well, there's an easy way for the air to get into the house. If I don't open a window, it's going to try to pull it through all the little cracks and openings, which will be the seep holes around windows, cracks in the doors, openings around light fixtures, and any cracks in the foundation. Now the atmospheric pressure makes a difference, so that's where it kind of gets a little technical. But the higher the pressure, the more it's going to want to push in. So your pressure out here might be different than the pressure under the house. And so if we could decrease the pressure under the house, right? So that out here, this is where the stronger pressure is pushing from of the air. Then when my house needs air, it's going to get it from outside, out here, the air, as opposed to under the house, because out here is higher pressure than under the house. Do you get it? And so that's what a sub-slab depressurization is. You could also just think about it as like sucking the air out from under your house and blowing it somewhere else, because that's what you're doing. So to do that, you punch a hole in your foundation. You could do it straight down through your house, or you could do it from the perimeter of the house coming into the footer from the side. That's a lot of cement to drill through when you do that, but there's drills out there which you can do it. They cost a lot of money. But the drills to go straight down are a little bit less. You could just do that with a hammer drill, a dry drill, punch a bunch of holes, and then pound through it and get it open. But you get that opening through your foundation. Where do you put that hole? You need to put it next to the footer of your foundation. Why? And what is the footer of your foundation? So the footer of your foundation is anywhere that you have a wall. Right? So the edge of your house, where you have a load-bearing wall, the edge of your house is supporting the roof, all the tile or shingles up there, whatever you got, the whole roof. That wall on the edge of your house is supporting that roof. So you need extra cement there to hold that weight. So they pour your slab, and then when they're pouring the slab of your foundation, where there's going to be a load-bearing wall holding up all that weight, they pour it extra deep. And so here's your slab, but then right on the edge, it's extra deep like that. And that's known as a footer. You want to put your hole right next to the footer, right next to the slab's footer. Why is that? Because when they dig out that footer to pour that cement extra deep, they've loosened up that earth. and then they pour the cement, and then that earth settles, and it creates a natural sort of tunnel pocket of loose earth around your house. So if you put your hole next to your footer, you're going to tap into this loose earth under your foundation where there's even maybe a little bit of a channel, and then you're going to attach a pipe to that hole and a fan to that pipe, and you're going to start sucking air out from under your foundation, and it's going to pull all the way around the perimeter of your house. Now some houses, like this house that I'm at right now, which is multi-level, they can have a footer that goes through the middle of the foundation where it goes from single story to two story. They had to put another footer. So this house actually needed 2 suction holes because there's a footer dividing the slab, and one suction hole wouldn't reach all areas of the slab. So we had to put a suction hole at both areas of the slab. So that's something to think about. But that's how you do it. So first, seal your foundation. Second, if you're going to depressurize the region under your house, and this is the #1 way to mitigate for radon, is put in a subslab depressurization system, which is what I'm talking about. Punch a hole in your footer next to your foundation footer, right? And then put a pipe into it, run that pipe up in the neck, and attach a radon mitigation fan to that pipe, and then vent it out through your attic. I recommend through your attic, go straight through your roof, because if you do it out the side of your house, you're going to hear a little dryer-like noise blowing all the time, which, you know, your neighbors aren't going to care for if they're close. So that's how you put in the system. Let me come show you the one that I put in here. Oh, let me show you a picture first though. You can find these pictures online. So here's a picture. You can see they put a hole in at the bottom here. And there's that, they excavated a little bit of earth under that hole. They're getting the radon, the area under the foundation, sucking it up the pipe, goes out here, goes into a fan, the fan's pulling up there, and then just blows it out above the roof. And the radon goes into the atmosphere where it would have naturally dissipated if your house wasn't sitting there aggregating it. And then here's just another picture where this one, starting out in the basement, and then the pipe goes all the way up, and then it comes out through the attic right there, and you can see the fan, and it just blows it up. That's the best way to do it, up through the attic like that. And there's your Radon fan. And you can buy those Radon fans on Amazon, or you could get it from Radon Away. That's one company. I'll show you the hole that we put into our house right in here. So you can see right here, this pipe goes straight into the foundation. We drilled a hole right down there in the foundation, use that polyurethane caulk to seal it up, excavated a little bit of area under there. You can see it's right near the edge of the house there, so we're right next to the footer of the foundation. And then this pipe goes up into the attic where it's attached to a fan, and that fan is pulling out all of the air under the house and depressurizing it. So that's how radon mitigation works. I hope this was helpful to you. And I commend you for looking into this and taking care of your family, friends, and loved ones.